one of the things I've seen quite a bit on YouTube is people saying, oh, I couldn't possibly sew that quickly, or things like that, or how to sew in a straight line. They are quite related. So what's important whenever you sew is you identify the straight of grain, so the direction you're sewing, and mark that on your foot. So you can put a little mark if you want, or just know where it lands. So in this case, it's quite easy for me to see that I'm sewing between those two lines here. I'm sewing in between my pin tucks. And what I can see is those two edges there is what I'm sewing between. There's a left and right. They just line up with maybe 1 millimeter or so inside of the pressure foot. But in the back, on this particular pressure foot, or presser foot as you prefer, there are two, the edge of the foot, the clip itself, is about the same distance. So if I aim that the front of the foot here is 1 millimeter in and that lines up, and I see that those are lining up, then I know I'm going to be sewing straight exactly where I want. Now there's a second part as well. I'm sewing reversing stitches. So here you can see the stitches I'm sewing. I'll go in close. It's that. So it goes back and forth a lot. Now what I've learned about this is you have to steer your sewing. But normally you just do kind of that angle to steer it. With these reversing patterns, you do the same, but I always try to leave extra fabric here for the back and forth motion, and you can still steer on it, but you don't ever pull it tight, because then you're fighting against the machine when it's pulling backwards. So I find this very helpful for stitching. You just leave a little extra bit of fabric here, and I can't do full tilt here because I'm holding the camera, but what you can see is those lines will line up exactly where I want to stitch in between. If I leave the extra lump, as you can see, then I can still steer and control where this needs to go. And that's how you can get up your speed on sewing. And also your accuracy. So it works in both places. So hopefully that helps some people to understand how you can do more controlled speed. If I put this on the tripod, you can see I can sew it over 1,000 stitches per minute without any problem using this technique. I might try just briefly, just to give you a whirl of how this looks. And then if I need to stop, I can still stop on a dime and go on again. A little pucker or anything, you just need to adjust it. It's easy enough to do, but because you've got that extra bunch up that you're pushing against the needle, it just makes it really easy to sew. Anyway, I hope you found that helpful.